please. And straight ahead, please. Straight ahead, Idris.
And both of you right here.
Can I get the two of you?
Straight ahead, please. Looking straight ahead.
Right here, please.
Right in front of you. Right in front of you, guys. Iyana, up top. Up top.
Right here. Yeah, there you go, Iyana. Right there.
Right, Iyana.
Right here, please. And just straight, Sharlto, straight ahead.
And one time right here.
One more time to the left.
And then when they're done, everybody to the left a little.
Everybody in the center, right this
Straight.
And can everyone turn to the
Moving here, thank you. All together here.
one to the left, everyone this way?
Straight ahead. Everybody straight ahead. Thank you.
And can we move that whole shot to the right a little? Straight ahead, please. And we're done. Yep, great. Thank you.
And one last look here. Straight ahead, guys.
Everybody right side.
Yes, yeah. Nice smile. Like it.
Could I get everybody straight ahead right here, please, real quick?
Hold that hair pretty. One more look in front. Right here. Right here. And looking here, please. One right in front of you. Thanks so much.
That's what I got.
Will, a little bit to the right here.
Will, to the right, please.
You know, there's a genre, you know, man versus beast, man versus animal, man versus dragon, you name it. And this kind of fits in there, but also with a family dynamic and, you know, set in real time in our world right now. And, you know, at the heart of it is a family that are going through a lot of turmoil and being chased by a lion at the same time. It's actually got a lot of ups and downs for the audience. It's heartfelt, and I think people will enjoy it. I really do. When I read the script, it had a dad and, you know, and his two daughters, and he's trying to make it right by them. That really tugged on. I was like, oh, okay, I play this role. But it was definitely something that, you know, really touched me as a parent. And I think any parent that watches this movie would be like, what would I do? And they'd probably do the same as my character. No, in this, we didn't use any real animals in the film, and, you know, we had to really use the sort of art of filmmaking to create this experience for the audience, you know. And it's a great experience. I'm really proud of it, I'm not going to lie, and I'm hoping that people go out and see it.
They should expect a lot of thriller in this and a lot of raging moments, and most definitely a family bond between this family. And they should see us come together also. Like, we go from like broken apart and grieving because of our mother passing away, but they should also see us come together and be as a family also, but also trying to survive. So it's a lot that you guys should be ready for. My favorite parts was just straight up filming in South Africa and being with Mr. Elba and being with my sister Iyana. It was already enough for that. I loved filming it. It was a lot of jokes, a lot of singing and rapping and dancing, but it was super fun.
The movie isn't just about lions, it's about family, it's about ups and downs and how they work together to have the common goal of survival. So you see just relatable content for sure, and like just a family working together, and I think that's so important. Them two together, absolutely hilarious. So, I mean, we were acting and like making sure everything was authentic, but we were having fun each time we shot, making jokes in the car, rapping, dancing. Like, we had a blast out there for 3 months. Best time ever.
I thought the concept was so cool. I thought it was a really fun summer movie, like a reason that you go back to theaters, because that's the thing now, right? People can watch movies wherever they want. And you gotta have something special to get people to come out in theaters. And I love that this is an original concept. It's not a big comic book movie, and it's not a big branded IP thing. It's an original movie, an idea with actors acting and, you know, man versus beast, survival thriller, edge of your seat kind of thing. And I hope people are ready to have a good time and have a fun popcorn end of summer thrill ride. I'm a fan of the man versus beast genre, personally, you know. I love Jaws, Cujo. I mean, what's not to love about? These are classic movies. So, you know, I was excited about the prospects of doing our own, and it's different for me as a producer, and anytime you can do something different, you should. There's nothing like working with Idris because he takes everything very seriously, and he brings something to a project that nobody else is going to bring. He definitely is somebody that when Idris is on the screen, you know it. You don't take your eyes off of him. Even when he's sharing the screen with a man-eating lion, he still controls the screen. So I like that, and he brought a gravitas to this movie that otherwise just wouldn't have been there. So I'm glad.
There's such incredible vistas in this movie, and they really worked to kind of take you and transport and put you in there. The director has approached it with this very kind of, if you ever saw Children of Men, with these long one-take shots that just, and we weren't cheating. We would do like 7-minute long takes that we would spend the whole day rehearsing and then get like 4 goes at it as the light was right in the evening. So, and with that style of filmmaking in a thriller, it's really fascinating. It's unusual. People don't do it often. So I think it'll be a very immersive experience in a cinema, hopefully. I'm a big theater fan, and the fact that people are going to movies again, I'm like, thank you, Lord. You know, let's not lose the enjoyment and social experience, and just the sheer scale of that screen and sound is amazing. Growing up in South Africa, I'd certainly dealt with a lot more wildlife than the rest of the cast. The 2 girls, I always tease them because they were really nervous of like even the smallest bugs. But that was part of my job. It really worked for the role because it was kind of like, I'm Uncle Martin, I'm like the uncle who's teaching these girls about Africa. So, you know, on camera I'm teaching them about lions, off camera I'm like, now here's a bug, Leah, it's dead, you can touch it. She's like, oh my God, no, I can't. I'm like, no, you can, it's fine. And I had a big, like, we call like a big monitor lizard living in my room for a couple of days that I found under the bed. So there's some fun adventures of shooting on location like that. To be honest, I knew Kevin Richardson, who's this guy, the lion whisperer that you might have heard of on YouTube. He's a huge lion guy. He's one of the only people in the world who could play with lions the way that I do in the movie. And I just, on a previous project, I'd kind of met him, seen how he works with the lions. So I learned how difficult that actually is, and how, like, if you show the slightest bit of fear, you're basically going to be breakfast or lunch or whatever. And also, if you try and be too dominant, they're going to think you're challenging them. So it's a remarkable place that you have to be in. And watching him do it really was the thing that informed me the most for the character. It was a very sort of spiritual experience being out there and seeing what it is, you know, how vulnerable we are as humans if we are in the African bush and without all our little gadgets.
I just want to give them a thrill ride, you know, through the bushes of Africa, you know, and an immersive visceral experience. That's what I'm doing. It's shot in a different way than a lot of these blockbusters are, and I think you will get the ride, you know, a really intense ride and the full experience if you go to the cinema and see it, you know. Idris is a great actor and a movie star, and that combined, you know, it's such a unique talent, you know, having both. You know, he's great in the more, you know, was more vulnerable, the character, and then when he needs to face a lion, you believe him as as the male he is. And Sharlto is, you know, I've been a fan of his since District 9, and you know, he's a great actor to work with, and they made a great team. And also the girls, Leah and Iyana, they're fantastic. They were discoveries, and I think they did a terrific job, you know, holding their own. There's nothing harder than when your family breaks apart, you know, and there's a trauma. And in some way, it's a metaphor of that. You know, the biggest piece you come up against in your life is holding your personal life together and tackle the traumas and difficulties you face through life. And in some way, it can be looked at that way.